Yes, yes, yes. Good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. How are we doing? Um, Here we are yet again, trying to see what is going on with our markets and kind of excited to see what's going on today. My little one took my phone, so let's see. Let me go get it real quick. Ha! Here I am again. Yes, we're back, and that took all of 5 seconds. So, good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. It is I once again. We're going live to dissect what happened. Um, did we get caught flat-footed? Did we end up getting our butts kicked with those puts that we ended up buying on Nvda yesterday? How do we trade this market? It seems like everybody's happy, hunky dory. There's nothing wrong with with the economy. It seems like people just want to make money. We're going to go to all-time highs. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the way that the market is trading. Even if stocks are trading at 700 times P earnings, it's all good. So what to do? What do we do? How do we play this market that seems to be relentless? And even though everybody else, analysts and all these pundits yesterday were talking about the Nvidia earnings and how they kind of met expectations, but they didn't blow anything out of the water. I guess they were waiting for something insane as far as returns. Data centers are obviously not where they want them to be at, and although that's kind of like their thing, the market is just shrugging it off as like, well, they've been doing great for the last few quarters, so I guess they're giving them a break. Although there were some people that sold yesterday at $171.80 or something like that. I mean, that tells you that somebody knew something. Somebody saw these earnings and they didn't like it. And then we had the earnings call, right? And then so look, it is what it is. The overall market said whatever. Nvidia is our boy. It's our our gold standard. It is It's a poster boy for the market, and so we are okay with that. No matter what happens, we're gonna keep dumping our money in here. Fair enough. No big deal. I had some puts that I bought yesterday for an average of 171 bucks, and I sold them today for $61. So $110 loss per. So that's 330 bucks actually. Um, so what are you gonna do, right? Um, Try to hold on to two of them to see if because I started seeing that it kind of wanted it to go back down. I thought it was going to recover and go further down, and so I held on to two. A little bit too long, and I sold those for 45 cents. So um, well, we learned our lesson, and that is that gambling is not good. So although I did say yesterday that these puts were a gamble, and just based on everything that I was seeing, um, Nvidia was going to crap the bed, and to a point they did. I mean, there was a sell-off yesterday, but today, for some reason, even retail is going nuts and buying. I think it got down to like 176 today, and it started recovering after that. Um, no big deal. We're just going to pivot and see what else the market is giving us. So, um, good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to my channel. It is I, the Savage of Wall Street, once again, trying to see what these markets are telling us, trying to hear what the stock is telling us, and they're trying to make money. Whether Nvidia had great earnings or not, that's done. It's over and done with. Now we move on, right? Who do we have here? Always Be Writing is in the house saying good morning. Hey yo, what's up, Savage? It's Charlie C2 is saying Zeta State is in the house saying Uncle Savage. Kent's mom is in the house saying hello, Mr. Savage. Kent's mom, good morning. Zeta State, good morning. Kalua Dre is in the house saying good morning, Unc. Call me Sav, baby. Morning, Sav. Hector saying good morning. Juke K's in the house saying morning, Savage and all. SJ Tavares is in the house saying what's up, Savage. Mando number 5 is saying hi, all. And so, wherever you guys are at, I say good morning to you. And, I hope you guys are making some money today. And I hope that you guys are listening to what the stocks are telling you and that you are on your way to making a little more money. And so, what do we have here? It seems like SoFi had a little pop this morning, and it's relentless. It's now going to $26, right? Now, remember, Citi upgraded it. Strong trading activity drives gains, bucking a flat market and highlighting renewed investor optimism. Citi's Peter Christensen raised the price target of SoFi to 28 from 18. And I guess people like that. Now, remember, Wedbush, I think Ives from Wedbush still has SoFi like at $10 or $8, which is insane. But anyways, this is a nice little pump, right? If you did not sell covered calls a couple of days ago on SoFi when it had all-time highs or all-year highs, 52-week highs, don't be scared and afraid to sell some calls today. $28 October 17th strikes are bringing you $156, $157. And if you want to sell some 30s, you can. And you could bring in $270 right now. If you were to sell the $30 call, take advantage of this pop. It's up almost 4%. Watch it a little more. If it goes to 5%, you can definitely deploy some stinkers. You can actually get paid starting now. If you sell the $30 covered calls, it would have to move another $4. $30 is not 28, and it seems like this little price target on SoFi went to $28. I think once it gets to like $27, $28, it's definitely going to take a breather and go back down. Don't be surprised if at $26.50, $27 or earlier, you see a nice little profit taken, right? You guys, this is all about just taking advantage of what the market is telling you, right? Let's see here. AI is just hovering in the $17 land. And so I told you guys before, and I'll tell you again, those October 17th, 1750 cash secure puts are not terrible in the 160, 170 area, bringing $160 and $170 for your troubles. You're buying the stock pretty much, at $16, a little under, not terrible. Unity, you guys, Unity had a nice little pop this morning to like $41, $41.50. Not a bad time to take some profit in the form of like some $50 covered calls out to January, right? Those $50 strikes out to January are bringing you in right now, this second, $430, $440. I put a sticker of 440, 445. For selling your stock, in theory, at $50 on January 16th. 2026. That's a couple of months from now. So, I mean, it all depends on what you want to do. Do you think the stock is going to go to $45, $50 in the next 2 months? Nothing says that it can't, but do you think it will? It's already gone up, $15, $20 on the year, a little more maybe. Is it gonna go there? I mean, I'm one of the first people to have been pounding the table on Unity when it was $14, $15. And I told you guys, this is a $100 stock. It's got to get to 30 and 40 before it does that, right? And it's got to get to 50 before then. But I think it's run a little hot, However, you can't deny it's $40 right now. Now, the question is, do you think that it's worth $50 in a couple of months, right? I say it doesn't hurt to sell some covered calls and bring in some cash right now to help you, pay some bills, right? Write some covered calls and pay your car note with that. That's not chump change, man. You bring in you go out to January, right? And you bring in, for selling at 50, you bring in $430, $440. You do 10 of those, that's $4,400. You could pay your mortgage a couple of times with that. Don't be afraid to take profit in that sense, guys, and to sell in the future for more money than what it's worth now. I mean, SoFi is telling you right now, I'm at $26, $25.90. Nothing wrong with taking profit in the form of a covered call. Sell some $30 covered calls out to January, right? And dare the market to take you out. And if in January, let's say SoFi is $32, right? You can always roll out to March. Roll those 30s to 33s and bring in even a little more premium. Or you can go to 2027 and then roll it to 40s and bring in a little more premium. The point of being in the stock market is to make money, and you're making money. Question is, are you somebody that's just gonna sit and hold for dear life your stock? I mean, think about it. The stock was just almost 27, right? $28 a couple of days back. How did you feel when it dropped to $24? I was telling you guys then, hey, sell some 30s out to January to bring in $5, $5-6. Now you can bring in less than that, but still, you can still bring in money. 26.50 is kind of going to be the ceiling for this one. It's making a run. And do you think that SoFi is going to go to $30 in the next month or so? That's kind of your prerogative. But remember, if you bought this stock at $8-10 and you sell it at 30, right? In January, you bring in a couple of bucks. Dude, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. And if you haven't sold any covered calls up to this point, and the stock just went to 24 from being at 28, right? How did you feel? That's the feeling you have to remember. And then where you're like telling yourself, man, I should have sold some covered calls, that feeling, it's not foreign to me. Like, I've been there, and like what I do now is, whenever I see pops like this, and I see that, the market is relentless and and it's just not justified. It's at that point when I say, you know what, I'm going to sell some covered calls and bring in some cash. Worst case scenario, if you sell SoFi at $30, worst case scenario in January, somebody dumps $3,000 in your lap. You bought the stock at $15-10, and you get put $3,000 in your lap. for those 100 shares. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all, my friends. All right, so let's see here. Misty Tree Woodcraft is saying, it's James here. Lucky 6. How dare you advise me to stop losing on 0 day to expire? You know what? I'm not one to be talking about losses, because I went gambling myself on an Nvidia puts, right? And I mean, I ate crow, man, and so I did lose some money, but I did tell people I do not condone this behavior. I said, don't do what I do. This is purely a lottery ticket. This is a gamble. I said it. I said it. You guys know that I said it, and so this is what happens when you gamble. Sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. But it's very interesting what the money makers or the market makers did with Nvidia yesterday. Have you guys happened to see just that those puts and calls, the premium was so high in the 80 to 85, and then the 80 to 75 area, that channel. And this morning when those opened up, the IV crush just, I mean, it was crazy how 60% got taken away from the put side and from the call side, right? That just makes you wonder, man. It's quite interesting, because and even though the stock was recovering, right, and then it dropped suddenly, it was not moving much at all. And I've never seen IV crush, eat away at a call or puts so quickly. And it was just, especially in those channels, it was crazy to see. I mean, with Tesla, I've seen something, but it was not as furious as this one. Almost as if like they just held it there, And notice how they held Nvidia to like 180, 181 for like 5 minutes, right? And then it's just that drop. So like they ate away at all that data so quickly in the 180s. So the 185s were done. 175s to 170s were done. The 190s were done. But they were waiting there for people to make those moves, right? And then it shrunk so quickly. I was very impressed, and I knew they were going to do something like that. I just didn't know, to what scale and how furiously they were going to just fuck with the calls and the puts. Anyways, that's what happens when you go gambling, guys. So public service announcement: gambling is bad. Be the casino, not the gambler. So let's see here. What else do we have? CKT saying, morning all, took a loss on Nvidia, but then sold some covered calls times 24 and open for October's $6 strikes for 74 and $7 for 64. I think that's fine, dude. That's totally okay. Nothing wrong with that at all. That's what happens when you gamble, CKT. You get sometimes, you're happy as a clown. You make a nice chunk of change, and you're like, that was beautiful. That was nice. I did my homework, right? And then you get kicked in the teeth, just like that. And then you realize that, gambling that's why it's gambling, right? And so it keeps you honest, if anything, right? It lets you know that, yeah, this is why I don't gamble. This is why I'm the casino. Hector's in the house saying, I have Unity covered calls. Strike, $30 strike expiring tomorrow. What's my best move? Oh, dude, you gotta get out. You gotta get out. You have 30s expiring tomorrow. I mean, you're obviously like $10 underwater. I mean, you're gonna get called. They're gone unless you do something drastic. I mean, you're looking at 2027 at this point, so like maybe look at rolling from 30s and 20, tomorrow, and see if you get a little premium. But I mean, I don't know how many cover calls you have. However, that's a $500 move, right? It makes sure that it's, it's obviously in the money. So like it's gonna be expensive either way. You have nothing to give. So just look at the option chain and see what you can get by going to like January 2027. 35s or 40s if possible. I doubt 40s will be possible though, but maybe 35s. CKT saying earnings on Sentinel One after hours. Yeah, I'm aware of that. And again, I sold my covered calls already on Sentinel One. I sold some 18s out to October, so I'm good. I'm just gonna wait to see what happens. Um, let's see. That was CKT. Bobby, I can say morning Savage and everyone. Still hoping to get S&P 500 rumor for SoFi on September 5th is a thing. Yeah, sell the rumor by the, what is it? By the rumor, sell the news, my friend. Savage, what's that? And says Ray Sherlock, just chilling here, man. Roaring Yiddy is in house saying, "Hola, por favor." Hello, please. Say buenos dias. Hola, buenos dias. That sounds way better. Ray Sherlock saying, "What's on the phone to my sister who wants to start selling options? I suggested SoFi as a safe bet, but it might be out of her price range. What would be another safe bet I could recommend for a newcomer?" RXRX. Let's see here. ACHR, which is a little more expensive. Wolf, Terra Wolf is a little more expensive. It's like in the 9 area. Open Door. I wouldn't advise because it's too crazy. BBAI would be cool. Let's see here. Yeah, those three. Nice. Bullish was actually down to like $61 this morning, and it's now up to 64. I really wanted it to come down to like the 50s, and it didn't. I just what are you gonna do? I overthought it. Let's see here. Yeah, so Ray, tell your sister, RXRX, BBAI is cool if you want to stay like in a $5 range. Mr. Lucky saying Savage. What's up, brother? How you doing? I actually took a small short position into Palantir. Let's see how this goes. Palantir is overvalued, man. But again, it's like Nvda. It's overvalued. It's way overblown. There's not like other companies are not doing the same thing they can do, but it's just like they have the ear of some powerful people, and they're not letting them slide. I think that meeting between Ginseng and Trump, was key. Yeah, they're giving 15% away to the federal government in taxes, right? But yeah, no, they have friends in high places, my friend, especially Palantir too. Kilo Andre saying, "What do you think about cash secure puts on SoFi at 25 or below? If we assume SoFi needs to stay at least $25 average closing price for 90 days for Noto to get his first bonus. It's close to the money, so premiums will be great. I have a ton of $20 rates already." Savages, 25s to 2027. 25s. You could even do 30s to 2027 and bring in more premium. I think you'll be safe, man. Dude is saying, "Savage, let's go." Roaring Yiddy saying, "I closed my $7 cover calls on open expiring in January yesterday for $60, 60-cent profits. I've still got I got one 3.5 cash secure put January expiring for $117, and two $4 cash secure puts January expiring on open for $154. I think that's cool. But nothing. That's fine. I mean, the stock is going to stay volatile for months, so it's just it's going to catch a lot of people flat-footed. I think premiums are going to stay great for a while. Keep milking that cow. Moneymaker Juan is saying, "What's good? Just making money, bro. Just making money and taking some losses here and there, but just trading." Charlie C2 in the house saying, "Open up 10% today." I told you guys $4 cash secure puts yesterday, man. They were bringing in like $1 and change. You know, if it stayed above 380, it was gonna do that. Dude saying, I like to remember everything reverts to the mean. That means that these days it's usually the 200 DMA. Not necessarily. Bobby Atkinson, SoFi cash account puts 30s for January 2027. So said a certain homeless Canadian. Yeah, no, I agree. $30 cash account puts out to January. Yesterday they would really paid you. Today, I don't do cash account puts on green days for the most part. For the most part. Unless I see a run and it's just like a cash grab, but I've done it before. So let the stock tell you what to do. Charlie C2 saying 5% up now, pulling back. That's what happens. That 20, I said 26.50. Bobby Evans saying they are 9.25, 950 range still. That's a good chunk of change. That's a good chunk of change. 11 would have been better, but I mean, or $10, but I mean, still, it's not terrible. SoFi will be over $30 by next year for sure. D Ruda saying I wrote puts on SoFi January 2027 for 9.45 last week. Good job. Joey B saying hi Savage. Hi Joey. Dude is saying give Savage a thumbs up, folks. Indeed, give him a thumbs up, guys. Come on. Hey, so I had a really rough night, man. I'm literally sitting on this heating pad and I got it like at 150 degrees right now. Man, I tweaked my back somehow. I don't know what happened. I just, my physical therapist said I should do a little weight, and try carrying some weight. So, you don't want to be like stagnant when you have like a sprained back or some type of sciatica issue. And that's kind of what my doctor said. It's like I may have pressed like a sciatica nerve with like a disc. Anyway, so I was feeling okay. I've been doing stretches. I'm feeling good for the last, few days, last 4 or 5 days. So I figured, let me maybe carry some bags with a little weight. I went to Costco and I got some grapes. I got some fruit for the kids, right? And I couldn't have been more than 10 pounds per each bag on each side. And then, I didn't feel anything wrong. But at night, my back was tight. And then, I kind of started going for a little walk because sometimes I stretch and I do go for a little walk to get the blood flowing. And I just started feeling this little pull, like kind of in like my butt, man, my left butt cheek. And sure enough, I started to feel that little pain, that little, it feels like I'm about to get a cramp, but it never comes. And it's just, man, I got so sad because I was just like, God, it's back. I have gotten rid of that pain for like a week, and then it'd been like 4 or 5 days that I was feeling okay. Still could not when I do stretches, still couldn't get to like a certain amount of range on my left side, but still, I could see progress, right? And now it's just, it's so frustrating, man, because it was hard to sleep last night. And I just kept waking up, and because I guess I kept going to this left side when I fall asleep, and it's just it got so it wasn't as bad as when it happened, right? But it's just the pain was there for like it was like from 1 to a 10, it was like a 3. It wasn't terrible to like keep me up at night all night, but it still definitely kept me up for a while. Rory Yudi saying the best thing about selling options is you don't have to be glued to the charts all day, every day. I just have to resist being impulsive and be more patient. That's the number one thing, man. Like, that's with me for sure. Patience was key, learning patience. And just sometimes doing nothing is the hardest thing, right? And so that was the hardest thing for me to learn, is just crossing my arms and letting time happen, right? And then letting those costs decay and those cash secure puts. Yeah, no, I am with you. I'm with you there, Rory. SJ saying Savage thoughts on writing on TSLL right now. Let's see here. What is TSLL? Is it Tesla? Yeah, it's an ETF. Um, you know, quite honestly, dude, It's down what 5% for the day. You know what? I don't really. That's not one that I write on, so I would be the wrong person to guide you on this, man. I mean, Tesla is down $7, right? So it's not even 5%. I would feel honestly, I would feel better if I was to write on that. I would feel better if Tesla was at 320, 310. You know, if it went down 5, 6, 7% in a day, maybe, but not right now. It's only down 2%. I mean, this is what Tesla does, right? So, but I mean, don't let me tell you what to do. If you're more experienced with this ticker than I am, you know, and you've been watching it, I honestly, I don't really follow it. You know, I'm kind of like on the semiconductor bear leveraged 3x um, kind of a ticker. You know, not really this one. I have cash secure puts on Tesla though. That's why I have some 190s, 200s, 210s, and you know, I sold those like a long time ago. And at this point, I'm daring the market to take me out. Right? They expire 2027. No, 2026. December 2026. I could roll essentially, I guess, to 2027, but like I don't want to. I want to. I think in June next year, I want to see where those are, and I may buy them back, and then just take all my premium back, and then I could use those $100,000 and on something else, you know. So we'll see what the stock tells us, right? All right, let's see here. Bobby Atkins saying, time to return to the day job, lurking in the background. Dude, thank you for watching, man. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Jay Gill is saying, hi, Savage and all, I am here. That's what's up, Jay Gill. Dude is here saying, Palantir today, right around the 50 DMA. If it drops, it might be a cascade. Just what I'm seeing. It's overvalued, dude. Palantir should be nowhere near $100. It should be 80, $70. But you know, it is what it is, right? It is where it is. It is what it is. Roaring Yuri saying I've been having a lot of doctor appointments too. Yeah, I really don't like them, man. I just, you know, I'd rather be at work. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather be at work. I just dislike, you know, just being home, stagnant. I mean, I love seeing my kids. I love helping getting them ready for the morning, but I'm kind of I'm limited, right? Like I can't walk fast, definitely not up and down stairs. And I can't carry stuff. It's just, I mean, I can get their stuff ready. I can cook their meals. I take my time. Um, I get their clothes ready, you know. And then, you know, at night, I kind of have to help with my boys showering. They're 6 and 3. So, like, you know, it's just, I got to help showering them because there's, you know, especially the 3-year-old, he's still figuring it out. The other one is fine. But, you know, I just, he used to love to shower. Now he hates to shower. So I'm like, dude, you don't want to be stinky, you know. So yeah, the nerve pain for sure, not a muscle issue, it's a nerve in the spine. Yeah, you know, that's what the doctor is saying. It may be both. It may be that I sprained my lower back, and you know, as a byproduct of that, because I kept working, I may have aggravated that nerve. Dude is saying the 200 DMA is around $100. I took out my original investment and kept profits in back at when it was 170. Good. TSL is a double leverage Tesla ETF. A lot of people wheel it. Yeah, I saw that. I mean, I don't. So I'd be the worst person to give you advice on that. Karen D's in the house saying this month I was able to pay my mortgage with my option profits. That is how you do it, Karen D. And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's quite a beautiful thing. You know, you're like, did that just really happen? Like you made it real, right? You took your profits from covered calls and cash secure puts, and you could have bought some stock and you know let it ride. You could have done it, but you paid your mortgage, and you know what happens? Um, you're able to make it real, and you're like, dude, did that just happen? You know, like I just paid my mortgage with my gambler's money. That's crazy. right? You literally, I mean, that's something so vital, so important as like a rent, right? It's like where you live, right? The roof over your head, and you're paying your mortgage, like with cash secure put money and covered call money. And I think that is awesome. So that's big thumbs up to you, my friend. I think that's a wonderful thing. I wish more people were able to do so, because you're basically, it's money you're literally generating out of thin air, right? And you're making it real. Buying appliances for your house that you're going to see for the next 10, 20 years is another thing. um, Paying for your credit card debt with with options premium is another big deal for me, because it's just, instead of risking paying an interest at some point, which I never do. I never carry a balance, I never pay interest, but still we have some large purchases once in a while, and like I'll let them kind of come close to like when I'm going to get charged that interest, and I just close them right away. And then sometimes I use cash secure put money, and I'm just like, that's a wonderful thing, especially when it's a new credit card and I'm meeting a minimum spend to get a bonus, a premium, right? Like some points. And I use premium money to pay that off. So like I'm using premium money to pay a credit card, that's going to give me a bonus for doing so. That's crazy to me. And then I'm able to then, get those points and kind of transfer them um, to to travel partners, or just partners in general with like American Express or Chase, and transfer partners, right? That's what they're called. And I'm able to stay like, at Waldorf Astoria, or travel to like Hawaii on United points, that I transfer from Chase, and like, I save all that money instead of paying out of pocket. I use points and I make those real, and it's a wonderful, wonderful feeling. So yes, my friend Karen D, I cheers to you for paying your mortgage with option profits. I think that's wonderful. Mark C is saying number 15 in the house. Howdy, y'all. Cindy B is in the house saying good afternoon, Savage. Good afternoon, Cindy. Beach Boy is in the house saying take care of yourself, man. I'm trying, Beachy. I'm definitely trying, and I stretch. I'm not getting any younger either, but I don't know. The physical therapist had actually suggested um, carrying some weight around. She said 5 to 10 pounds, right? So I figured, 5 to 10 pounds on each hand would not be a big deal. And I walked from Costco um, over here, to the car, um, with the bags, and then I guess I kind of forced to like put those up on the car, and then we carried the items from in the car over to the house and stuff. So, but I mean, it's still, I don't know, man. It just seems so silly that I would tweak my back with such small amount of weight. So maybe I gotta take it easier. I haven't been going crazy, but maybe this is a little more serious than I thought. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. Double D in the house saying good morning. Good morning, Double D. All right, guys. So what are we working on here? Let's see here. This morning, I actually bought back some Serve robotic um, cash secure puts back. I I actually, Domo, by the way, you remember Domo, guys? I sold some cover calls yesterday, some $20 strikes for 275 out to February, I believe, January or February. Um, so Domo, had earnings yesterday, like I said, and I took advantage of all that premium. And today, our friend Domo is lower. They obviously their numbers were good, but they were not stellar. And it's down $2 today. Guess who's smiling from ear to ear? Myself, because those $20 now are way less than they were yesterday, and I haven't bought them back just yet. I'm waiting to see, what next week brings, because somebody was actually able to sell them those at 152, 155, right? Or buy them back, I mean. Somebody bought 155. So they were 275 yesterday. That's $120 difference. So I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna put a stinker of $1 there at some point next week, and I'm just gonna leave it there. Good till closing. And so I'm trying to generate $175 for each covered call that some poor sap bought yesterday, and now they thought they were going to make a lot of money, and they didn't. And that's what happens. You're in the casino. You could just cross your arms. If Domo would have ripped today, let's say to $20, I sold 20s. So like, what was the problem? And for 275, that means that I'm good to 22.75. That's my break even. There's no problem. So smiling from ear to ear today, and I'm giving them nothing. I'm giving them nothing whatsoever. Webull has earnings today, guys. So, needless to say, yesterday was a great day to sell some Webull cash secure puts. Last week was a great day or a great time. I'm very against buying or selling cash secure puts on green days. We don't know what Webull is going to do today. However, $15 cash secure puts, Webull cash secure puts, are around 275 today. Not terrible at all. You're protected, up to 1225, right? The stock is sitting at 1460, 1470. It's not a bad rate at all. I sold a lot of those cash secure puts for like over $3, and I think I sold a couple yesterday for 280, 275, something like that. So it's kind of went down on average, but I honestly want the stock. If they want to put it to me at $12, I'm totally okay with that. I'm selling 15s, obviously, so I'm good till 12. If they want to give me the stock, I think that's great. If you are holding Webull, it's so hard. I mean, you could take advantage of the premium today, and you could sell some 1750s for January for $213. So you're protected like another $3, and you're selling for 213, $215. Not the most terrible thing, but yeah, today's not a good day to sell just because I like my stock to run 5 to 10% when I sell those covered calls, right? But Webull does have earnings. Let's see it. I'm very curious to hear what they have in store for the crew. Snowflake is up ridiculously a lot in the last 2 days. It was $201, $200 a couple of days ago. It's now $235. Snowflake is running away with everything. They're just eating everyone's lunch. Let's see here. SoFi is back above $26. That's very interesting. Unity is down. It wants to go down to 1% today. So it goes down 1%. It is what it is. RX is 486 today. Man, I can't say enough about those $5 cash secure puts that expire October 17th. Right now, you can get $70, 70 cents per share. You're essentially buying for $4.30. Not the most terrible thing. Not the most terrible thing. If you want a cash grab, you could go to January 4th and bring in $55 to $60 or cents per share for $4 cash secure puts. Gosh, it's just such an opportunity right now. I can't believe they're holding it down below 5, but I guess for tomorrow, that's the pain, right? $5. So they're really trying to just hold it down as much as possible. Such an opportunity. I really do want to get those $6 cash secure puts put into my account for RXRX. I got like 2,000-3,000 shares that are coming my way September 19th. I don't think I'm gonna roll unless there's like a big surge and I'm able to bring a couple of $1,000 just in premium alone by not moving the strike. If unless that happens, I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna get that stock. I'm average. It'll be in the 415, 420 area. As a break-even point, so I'm good. GME, I mean, it's just beautiful how they're just holding it between 22 and 23. I have $22 cash secure puts and $23 cash secure puts expiring September, October, and January. And I have some $30 cash secure puts expiring in January. And I'm very interested to see what earnings is going to bring. I have 5 covered calls out to September 19th, and those are just losing steam. But it's so interesting to see how they really don't decay much at all. It's like $8 a day, $10 a day that they lose. It's just like it's never like a big chunk that comes down. It's just like tiny bit by bit. It's just because the volume is so crazy, and then it's just there's so much interest on these. But it's just wonderful to see how they are just keeping it between $22 and $23. It has no business being down here at all, not whatsoever. But that's where they're keeping it, and I think it's extremely interesting. However, that's where I'm choking it. $22, $23 cash secure puts and $23 covered calls, and I'm just choking it there. I'm just squeezing all that premium. We'll see what happens. I'm okay either way. Archer Aviation is up 1% today. Nothing to write home about. SMCI down 1% today. Not doing much except just crossing my arms. Roblox is up 3% today. Sentinel-1 is up 1.5% today. We have earnings. Very curious to see what's up with that. Today would have been a good day. It still is to sell some TeraWolf covered calls out to October 17th. You could sell some $12, some $11 covered calls and try to bring in $71. Not a terrible deal. You're selling at $11. It's at $9.50. It has to go up $1.50. And then you're bringing in $72. Not terrible at all. There, the market will take you out at $11.72 basically. So if you bought $5, $6, $7, it's making you money. That's the name of the game, my friends. Riot is interesting. It's up 4% today, 4.5. You would not be wrong to write a covered call. Go to October, sell a covered call. $15 strike would not be terrible for $120. Ask for $120 in October for that $15 call. It's at $14. It has to go up another $1. Not terrible at all. That would be a nice little cash grab. It just, it's one of those stocks that it trades in the $15 to $12, $11 channel, and like anything between there is like you're pretty much safe. Open Door Technologies. It was up 10% today. That would have been a beautiful time when it was at 443, 445. Beautiful time to sell some covered calls, and it's now down 8% since then. That is wonderful. So if you sold some cash secure puts yesterday, today you could have bought them back at that point in time, and right now you could be looking to write some more. That's how we skinned that pig. BBAI, nothing to write home about. unless you're doing $7 cash secure puts out to 2027, which are bringing you 360 to 365, which is a wonderful amount of premium for essentially buying these at 350 to 340, 335. That's not terrible at all. IOVA is down today, 3.5%. Smart Rent is down a little bit to 146. It's down like 1/3 of a point, 34 basis points. If you've been looking to, basically get into a real estate play and you missed the train with Open Door, I'm telling you, Smart Rent, it may stay there for a few months. I'm not gonna give you anything other than the truth, which is it may be boring to hold that stock, but when it moves, when they cut rates, the stock is going to go to $2, $3, $4 a share. And then once everybody starts piling on, you're going to see all these options open up. Right now, there's not many options available. That means that it's not heavily traded, right? On average, we have 1.5 million shares that move a day on average. That is nothing. That is absolutely nothing. The market cap is $275 million. 52-week low was 67 cents. 52-week high was 199. So 140, 45, 46, not a terrible price point to buy at. And if for whatever reasons, let's say it drops in the next few weeks to like 120, you can buy an extra 1,000 and average down, and just that's what you do with stock that is undervalued and that is heavily pushed down. This is a pure real estate play, and they're going to make more money once the rates are lower. We are going to have rate cuts, but until then, this stock is not going to move much. I think the closer we get to a rate cut, the more it's going to move. But at this point, right, it's all hopes and dreams, my friend. Hopes and dreams. Tom Kaufman's in the house saying, "Hey, Savage, didn't get the notification." I don't know why, Tom. YouTube does that, brother. I don't know. It's just they lag sometimes. Cindy B saying, "I trade my IRAs. My Roth is over 35% this year and 73% overall. No wash sales in IRAs, which is great. I think that's awesome." D Visual Art saying, "My guy 100%. Cindy B saying, I'm selling a put on Domo. I think a $15 put would be fine to sell up to October. Those are like 130, 140, something like that, I think. Moneymaker Juan, looking for some SMCI puts. Wait for a red day. Jeff Glass, well, SoFi $30 covered calls for 10.3, just triggered for 171 cents. Okay, that's fine. 71 cents, not terrible. You want to bring dollars in though, but I mean, you're pretty safe. That's like a cash grab at this point. So free money. Somebody gave you free money, and I think take it. If they're giving it away, might as well be you. Jude K is saying noise. Cindy B, my SMR cash secure puts are looking good today. I think that's wonderful. Ricardo Canales is in the house saying Savage. All right, guys, what else do we have here? We have IOVA is down. Prop is kind of up, like 2%. PROP. ICCM is up 20% today, which is great. ICCM is kind of like a medical development firm that I've been looking at for the past few, and it was like, I got it down like in the 60s, 70s. It's kind of when I went dumpster diving, right? Sometimes you have like a nice amount of cash, and I didn't really want to buy puts, right, or calls on something, and I was like, well, I want to buy some stock that is looks good, that the company's doing good things, and it's just like it seems undervalued. Thing is, with these penny stocks, sometimes you end up, they move really fast, and you could easily be up 30% on a day and down 40% on a day. So I don't talk about those at all. So excuse me if you hear me saying these names once in a while. I hold the positions, but I'm not suggesting anyone would get in there. It's just, it's moved a lot today, 20%, and I'm nicely up, but it's they are doing really good things when it comes to breast cancer, and I think they had a good test, and so ICCM is what I'm talking about. And then, so anyways, um, they're based out of Israel, and they're working on some breast cancer procedures and how to make them less invasive. And I think that's a good thing, right? Anyhow, so let's see here. What else? Ethereum is down a bit today. Bullish is surprisingly up now. It was at 61, it's now at 65 almost. Let's see here. Red Cat is up a little bit today. 1.5, a little more than 1.5%. It was down yesterday. So if you did some cash secure puts on it yesterday, today is a good day for you. Let's see here. The QQQ is up nicely. Nvda semiconductor, it's weird because it jumped like 3.5% in the morning to 626, and now it's like at 610. It's barely up. And I would think that this would have moved a lot more because of Nvidia, but it's so strangely not. Those $6 cash secure puts are just decaying at this point, and I'm just okay with that. I'm okay with that. Quantum computing up almost 5% today. It was up 5%. QUBT is the ticker. I have $15 and $16 cash secure puts out to like October and September, and I'm just letting those decay. I'm crossing my arms, my friends. Rigetti is up nicely today, 10%. If you guys sold cash secure puts on RGTI, Rigetti Computing yesterday, remember, guys, I told you guys it would be a good day to sell some. I think I said 14 cash secure puts, right? I think some 14s or 15s. Easily could have been 14s. You would be up, down 50% today. So that those 14s, you could just jump out of today. That would have been wonderful. Let's see here. SMCI is going down. Wait for the $42 land. If it goes down to $42, that would be cash secure put land. So selling some $40 to October would not be terrible. Not at all. Ion Q is my baby. It's up almost 3.5%, 4% today. Beautiful. Keep doing it. Like I said, Serve Robotics was actually up earlier on in the morning, and now it's down, which is wonderful because I jumped out of my positions and took my money with me. I am loving it. Yeah, buddy. I took my money and ran. Happy to do so. Free money. I love it when they give it. Sound, SOUN, Soundhound, up 5.5% today. So for you guys that have some Soundhound, today would not be a terrible day for covered calls. I would say if you wrote a covered call, a $14 covered call out to October, and you could ask for $91 right now, 91 cents. Not terrible. I would actually go to January. I would go to January and sell a $15 covered call and bring in $170. Ask for $170. Let's bring in dollars. So bring in $170 for every one covered call. 10 of those will bring you $1,700. That's a mortgage payment. So you can be like, who was it that paid their Karen D. Karen D. Paid her mortgage off with or his mortgage off. I mean, with with options money, and I think that is a wonderful thing. So yes, sir. Ricardo Canales is in the house saying Savage Beach Boy. ICCM, Ice Cure Medical, the stock is having a nice day for sure. Yeah, it is. And I'm just, I'm just holding it. I like I said, I bought in cheaply enough where I could just let it ride. Same thing as with with Open Door. It was just I just bought a shitload of stock because it was so cheap, and I just I added some more when it went down a little more, and then I'm done. At this point, I'm just letting it ride, and if it goes to like $3, $4, I'm not even gonna do covered calls. I think I'm just gonna sell it. We'll see. I mean, like I said, it's they do good things, so we'll see how high the premiums are gonna be. That's my thing. If I can get a lot of premium, wonderful thing for me. So Soundhound, beautiful day to write cover calls on, guys. Um, let's see here. Digital BTBT is down 3% today at 266. Some October 17th, cash secure puts. Some 250s bring you in almost 30 cents. I'd say ask for 28, 29. That's more than 10% easily. You do 10 of those, you're bringing in, $290 on $2,500. Not a terrible thing if that's kind of, what you wanna take your stake in. They provide cloud service for customers such as artificial intelligence and machine learning. So, they're into devs. So that's they have a really good buy rating, just so you know. So 100%. So what do you want to do, my friends? What is your pleasure? Domo cash secure puts looking pretty good today. Ooh. Yeah, the $15 cash secure puts for Domo would have brought you in $130 today. Right now it's between 105, 115. Domo, I think it could probably come down a little more. It's already down like almost $2 for the day. If anybody wants to play with Domo, yeah, okay. So if you did a cash secure put on Domo, maybe October would not be the day I would go to. I go to February and bring in 230. Not quite 20%, but if you want the shares, $15 cash secure put brings you in $230. Not the most terrible deal ever. So I see it. It's hard to tell. I mean, it's already down 11% for the day. It's actually down to like $14 earlier, so that was like almost 20%. It's recovered. I think they gave it a buy rating at 15. So the stock usually doesn't go above what the buy rating is. So I think it's going to come down to like 14.50 in the next week or so. So right now it's just some people that I guess saw it drop $2 and they're like, oh my God, it's dropped $2. I'm going to buy some because it's cheaper. But the buy rating's at 15. It's 15.60. Remember that SoFi had a $10 buy rating and it was like $7. So that's kind of what you want, right? The buy rating to be like at 15, and you want the stock to be like at 11, $12, so that way you could be like, oh, okay, so it makes sense. The buy rating is there, and I don't know. It's just one of those where I think it's there's still a little more room to the downside. But if you sold a cash secure put that brought you in like 150, 140 for the 15s, I think that's kind of cool. That's nothing wrong with that at all. You brought in pretty much 10%, so that's what I look for, like 10%. Cindy B saying Dick's Sporting is down today. Sold put spreads for a couple of weeks up 40% already. Good for you. Yeah, like people aren't really spending like money like that anymore. You know, especially sports, right? I mean, I think a lot of programs are getting cut. A lot of a lot of school districts are losing a lot of funding because the federal government decided to cut funding everywhere, right? And they gotta take all that money away from somewhere. All the billions and trillions of dollars they gave to the billionaires, well, that money has to come from somewhere. And usually that's gonna be your Medicaid, your Medicare, your they're gonna probably stop. They're gonna stop a lot of programs when it came to like special ed learning. I know that they're closing down a lot of schools that helped the disabled. They're taking away money from veterans um, affairs, buildings, and programs. And I mean, schools are suffering, and that means sports programs are going to get cut. If sport programs get cut, then that means that there's less athletes. So kids are going to go to like sporting goods a lot less. I mean, it's all a snowball, like snow effect, right? Like what is it called? Snowball effect. Um, so elections have consequences. I keep saying it. Beach Boys asking, do you know SBSW? Have it on my follow faves list. Don't remember why. You may want to remember why. Mr. Lucky saying C3.ai $20 December 20 cash secure puts are 7. Yeah, go to 2027. If you're gonna put $20 away like that, just go to 2027. And I feel much more comfortable going to 2027 and maybe getting what, $10 or more. Let's see. What is C3.ai giving us? I mean, it's a green day too, so you kind of don't want to do it on a green day unless you're going that far out. But January 15, 2027, $20 put is bringing you 613. Wait. How is your $20 December 20 cash secure puts are $7? Oh, I got it. Oh, sorry, December 2027. Not sexy enough for me. You're bringing in basically 33%. To go out to December. I mean, January 2020, 2027. Okay. If you're bringing in 7 by then, 33%. I usually like 35 to 45%, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, it's obviously, don't let me tell you what to do with your money, Mr. Lucky. But I could. There's. I'd rather do SoFi's to 2027. Do some SoFi 30s to 2027. You'll be better off. Some GME $20 cash secure puts out to 2027. Let's see. And I love C3.ai. Don't get me wrong. I just I see you want a cash grab pretty much, right? That's kind of what you're trying to get. It's a cash grab. So if you're gonna go to December 2027 and bring in, $7 for C3, I just do a $20 cover cash secure put on GME and bring in, 950, 980. That's almost 50%, so that's a more attractive right for me. And I love C3.ai, don't get me wrong. That's my baby. But if we're talking cash grabs, I have to be honest with you, right? And I have to tell you, GME is more attractive if you want to do 20. If you have $2,000 to put away in the bank, and that's going to be your checking account, instead of bringing $7 on C3.ai, bring in 950, 980 with GME. That's a better option, quite honestly. Beach Boy said, what? CBSW. What is CBSW? SBSW? I don't even know. SBSW. Sylvania Stillwater. Multinational mining and metals processing group with a diverse portfolio of operations, projects, and investments across 5 continents. It's one of the global recyclers of PGM auto catalysts and has interest in mine tailings retreatment operations. The firm mainly engages in acquisitions and exploration of platinum group materials, including palladium, rhodium, and producing of gold. I don't like it. It said absolutely nothing with all that wording and jargon and stuff, and he meant nothing. It just I would stay away from it. Go to Domo, Beach Boy. Go to Domo. December cash and cure puts. Do some, you like to stay basically out of the money, so do some 14s to $40 strike. $14 strikes, bring in 140. That's 10% out to December. It's pretty safe. So some Weeble. You want to bring in some premium, Beach Boy? Do some Weeble January 1250 cash secure puts and bring in $218 per contract. So you're basically buying Weeble for like $10 a share. And worst case scenario, you get put those shares, and the premium's great. And then you could write covered calls on it. Worst case scenario. Best case scenario, you received almost 20%, right? To go out to January for holding, a stock that's going to give you a lot of premium. Mr. Lucky saying C3.ai $20 December cash conversion 7. Dude saying my $5 puts on ASST are starting to come in just a little bit. Mr. Lucky saying sorry December 27th. Yeah, that's all good. So you know what? Just to get on the radar, I was reading on ASST, and it's just I was like, obviously yesterday I was gambling, right? And I actually joined you, and I did. I put some stinkers out there for ASST, and so I ended up bringing in. It triggered 2 ASST cash secure puts, $5 puts, expire in October, and they triggered at 3:45. I was being an asshole. It's just triggered. I just got the alert. So basically, I put away $1,000, and they give me pretty much $7 back. So my risk is $310. Sure, I'll fall on that sword, and it's just crazy. Who would do that? That's somebody that really. I mean, that's how low my risk is, right? So I'm pretty much safe up to like 155. Like the stock could go to 155, and I'm still safe, which is crazy, right? That's my break even. So let's see what happens, man. That's nuts. Stocks at 620 today. Oh, it's crazy. Wow. It just went down to like $6. It's at 619 now. That's crazy. I don't know, man. It's just it's why not? Let's gamble. Let's see here. What else do we got? What else are you guys working on today, man? Are you guys what are you guys trading? You beat my premium, way to go. But dude, I mean, you know what? It's just I honestly didn't think it was I thought 350. I was like, 350 is a nice round number, but I was like, probably there's gonna be a lot of people at 350. Let me go, like Uncle Bruce would say, let me go down a nickel. Let me go down a nickel. And then just bullshitting, right? I was like, if I'm gonna lose $300, whatever. It triggered. So I was like, it is what it is. Somebody out there knows something that nobody else does, and I think I'm okay with that. Best case scenario, somebody gave away $700. I mean, if like for like 6 weeks, that's crazy. Remember, guys, no trading on Monday. No trading on Monday. So if you're gonna sell some cash secure puts and covered calls, remember, no trading on Monday. So if you're gonna go out to, like, I don't advise writing weeklies, right? But if you do, you have an extra day of decay. I would say go out to, like, if you're gonna write something to like September 19th. Honestly, I like October premiums right now at this point for most stocks, and I think because you could bring a bigger premium. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. SoFi is at 26.10. Yeah, see, SoFi is just, guys, don't be afraid of the upside, man. Write some $30 covered calls out to like January and try to bring in 280, 280, 285, 280, 278. I mean, like, you're bringing in almost $300, right? To sell at 30. I mean, the stock will have to move a lot. And not saying it can't. I'm just saying, if you were to sell the stock, right, $30 is not a bad selling point. And if it happens that it goes down, and I think it will, you're going to be grinning from ear to ear, because it just went down to $24 yesterday, and it's now back up. And it's probably going to go back down, and it's going to go back up. It's just, it's doing what SoFi does, which is break hearts. But in the long run, it is going to be $30. It's just, I don't think it's going to be $30 by October. I mean, let's see what earnings says, right? Like, I think they're gonna have some great earnings. I think we may run to like 29, but it's gonna come back down to like 26, 27. I don't know. It's so hard to say. But right now, if you sold some covered calls on SoFi, $30 covered calls out to January, bring you in almost $3. Nothing wrong with that at all. Let's see here today. Jay Gill said, I closed some 829 Palantir 185.90 call credit spreads this morning for 1 cent. He wrote them 2 weeks ago. I hope you made some good money. I like hearing that. This point, the market has kind of flattened out. It's trading a little sideways. I mean, it's a mixed bag, right? We have some green, some red, some were green and now are red, some were red and now are green. SoundHound is up almost 7%, and that's for sure. And I have some cash secure puts, and those are looking lovely now, man. So I'm gonna let them decay. I'm gonna set a stinker here for a covered call. $15 strike for $2. That's where I'm going. Selling for 15 and asking for $2 in January. See if it gets filled, my friends. Anyways, guys, I'm a little tired. I'm probably gonna go and do some exercises, and then I'm probably gonna ice my leg and my buttocks. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys taking the time, and thank you for the thumbs up everywhere, anywhere you are. I appreciate you guys following Jay Gill, Dude, Mr. Lucky, Beach Boy, always, Cindy B, Visual Arts, Ricardo Canales, Jude K, Jeff Grass, Moneymaker Juan, Visual Arts, Karen D, Mark C, Double D, Tom Kaufman, Dude, Rory Yitty, Joey V, SJ Taveras, Bobby, Jay Gill, DH Ruda, Charlie C2, Kilua Dre, Moneymaker Juan, Ray Sherlock, Jude K, Hector, Mr. Treet Woodcrafts, Mando number 5, SJ Taveras, CKT, Always Be Writing, Zed Estate, Kent's mom. I can't say enough how much I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow at the same back channel, same back time. Let's see what the market is giving us. Right, we're gonna have a couple of more earnings today. I don't think there's anything crazier that's gonna happen for the rest of the week. I think the big one was Nvda. We had those numbers. The market really was shrugging it off. They showed a little weakness. It wasn't a home run. However, the markets have their favorites and the markets have spoken. So let's see what tomorrow brings, right? Let's see if there's going to be some profit taking. Let's see if there's going to be some more shenanigans. Let's see if somebody opens their mouth today and tags the markets. We see what happens, right? We'll see what happens with this market, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. Guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. My fellow simpletons and degenerates, you guys, I'm tired, and I'm going to take some pain pills because it's kind of heating a bit. And you guys know I appreciate you guys very much. New Visual Arts is saying yes, sir. Wheeling Idaho saying Webull earnings after the bell today. I'm waiting for that. You know, I'm waiting for Webull. Like I said, I have a lot of cash accrued puts on Webull. I quite honestly, I'm waiting to get put those shares. One more stock I want to tell you guys about. I keep forgetting is Newsmax. I know that you guys may not like it's like Fox News, right? Newsmax is a cash cow, right? It's heavily volatile, and the October cash accure puts, the $15 cash accure puts can bring you in. Put a stinker at $2, $1.90 to $2. Great stinker to bring in some profit on these cash accure puts. Out to January, 1250s are bringing 160. The 15s are bringing 288, but you can put a stinker of $3 there, not a problem. Newsmax, it's going to rip. It was I think over $200 a share at some point. It was like 265, 52-week high, and they got heavily shorted. So just another ticker for you guys to like. You don't have to do anything now, but keep it in your back pockets, put it on your little watch list, and see how it moves. Any drop to $14, you guys can take advantage of like some crazy premiums out there. And don't be afraid to do stinkers, right? Because those usually trigger. It takes a while, but they do trigger, and you could bring in some big premium. This ticker is going to make a lot of money once the failure to deliver happens. Once the shorters get their hands caught in the cookie jar, and it'll just go up to like $30, $45. But it's got to get to 20 first, right? So $15 cash accure puts are not terrible. So anyhow, Moneymaker wants to feel better, homie. Thank you, appreciate it, brother. Tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. California time, 11:30 East Coast time. Everywhere you guys are, I wish you the best. Have a great trading day for the rest of the day, and let's see what Webull says with earnings today. Until then, see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. I'm the Savage of Wall Street, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.